Hello, good morning to everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn the first unit, that is the introduction. The first topic is introduction to machine learning. So, what is actually machine learning? Machine learning is defined as the discipline of artificial intelligence that provides a machine the ability to automatically learn from the data and experience to identify the patterns and make predictions without minimal human interval. Machine learning enables a machine to automatically learn from the data, improve performance from experience, and predict things without being explicitly programmed. Means machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence and it automatically learns the data from the experiences and the patterns and make the predictions, future predictions. So, here is the diagram of how AI, ML, and DL evolve. First, deep learning. Deep learning after machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. So, deep learning means, for example, self-driving car, complex data neural network it will have, and AI means big. It is a big data set consists, for example, of chatbot, and ML means it will enhance the conversations to translate data. So, what is AI? AI is the broadcast of all and gives a machine the ability to initiate the human behavior. So, by mimicking the human behavior, AI will help to generate the concepts. Next one is the machine learning. So, machine learning uses the algorithms and techniques that enables the machines to learn from their past experience, trends, and predict the output based on their performance, improve as they are exposed to more data over time. So, what is machine learning? It will learn from the algorithms and the past experiences, and it will improve the performance and predict the future things. So, what is deep learning then? Deep learning is a subset of machine learning in which multi-layered neural networks learn from the vast amounts of input data. So, multi-layered neural networks are learning from the vast amounts of input data. So, next one is a types of ML. There are mainly four types of machine learnings are there. First one is a supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. So, we will see one by one. First one is a supervised learning. What is supervised learning? Supervised learning is a type of machine learning in which machines are trained using the well-labeled training data. And on the basis of that data, machines predict the output. So, what we have? We have the labeled training data. In the supervised learning, mainly it will work on the labeled training data. The labeled training data means input data is already tagged with the correct output. So, what is labeled means whatever the input is there, that is already tagged means the input is already having the output. For example, risk assessment, image classification, fraud detection, and spam filtering, etc. Next one is the types of supervised learning. In that one, first one types of machine learning is the first one is supervised learning. In that supervised learning, there are two types again, classification and the regression. Classification means classification problem classify the data according to the category such as the red, blue, disease, and no disease, or yes or no, male, female, true, false, etc. So, classification mainly focuses on the classifying data either true or false, correct or wrong, 0 or 1, red or blue, or rain falls or not, like this, such kind of things. Next one is the regression. A regression problem is when the output variable is a real value such as forecasting sales, weather forecasting, etc. Next type is a second type, that is the unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a type of machine learning in which models are trained using an unlabeled data set and are allowed to act on the data without any supervision. So, what is unsupervised learning? It is a type of machine learning and it will have the unlabeled data, means input is not having the output, and Here, without supervision, it is working. The goal of the unsupervised learning is to find the underlying data structure of the dataset and group the data according to the similarities and represent the dataset in a compressed format. So, what is the goal? To find the underlying structures within the dataset and group them according to the similarities and represent the data in the compressed format. There are three functions of the unsupervised learning. So, next, types of unsupervised learning. The first one is the clustering, second one is the association. So, first one is, what is clustering? Clustering means where we want to discover the inherent groups in the data, such as grouping by purchasing behavior. Means clustering means the similar objects we are going to group together. That is a clustering. Next one is a association. Association rule learning is a kind of unsupervised learning technique that tests for the reliance of one data element on another data element and design appropriately so that it can be more cost effective. It tries to discover some interesting relations or association between the variables of the dataset. Next one is a semi-supervised learning, that is a third type. So what is semi-supervised learning? It contains very small amount of labeled data and very large amount of unlabeled data. The programmer will cluster similar data using an unsupervised learning algorithm and then use the existing labeled data to label the rest of the unlabeled data. So what is semi-supervised learning means? It will have both the unlabeled data and labeled data, but very small amount of the labeled data and very large amount of the unlabeled data. So by using both the labeled data, it will going to predict the output. So it will have the three types again. So it assumes the three types of data. The first one is a continuity, cluster assumption, and the manifold assumption. The first one is a continuity assumption. The algorithm assumes that the points which are closer to each other are more likely to have the same output label. Means closer inputs are going to have the same output. Second one is a cluster assumption. The data can be divided into discrete clusters and points in the same cluster are more likely to share the output label. Same. And the third one is a manifold assumption. The data lie approximately on a manifold of much lower dimension than the input space. So applications are speech analysis, internet content classification, protein sequence classification. Speech analysis, internet content classification, and protein sequence classification. In speech analysis, labeling of audio files is very intensive task. Semi-supervised learning is a very natural approach to solve this problem. And internet web content classification. So labeling of each web page is an impractical and infeasible process, and the semi-supervised learning algorithm, even the Google search algorithm uses a variant of semi-supervised learning rank the relevance of a web pages for a given query. And the next example is a protein sequence classification based on the DNA standards, typically very large in size, and rise of semi-supervised learning has been imminent in this field. So these are the applications of semi-supervised learning. Next one is the reinforcement learning. So what is reinforcement learning? Reinforcement learning is a feedback based machine learning technique in which an agent learns to have or behave in an environment by performing the actions and seeing the results of actions. For each good action, the agent gets positive feedback, and for each bad action, the agent gets negative feedback or a penalty. So the diagram will be environment, agent, action, and he will get either reward or penalty. So agent is performing action on environment. So based on the action, he will or she will get the reward or penalty. Next action will have the takes place. So the main elements of a reinforced learning system are the agent of the learner, the environment of the agent interaction, the policy that the agent follows to take actions, and the reward signals that the agent observed upon taking action. So these are the elements of the reinforcement learning system. So all the four types completed. First one is the supervised learning, second one is the semi-supervised learning, third one is the unsupervised learning, fourth one is the reinforcement learning. So in the next class we will see the next topic. And if you want more content, like, share, subscribe the YouTube channel, and if any doubt is there, ping me in the comment box.